It's morphin' time. Pterodactyl.
Hi there, this is Datila with Rangers of Wrestling, bringing you the AEW, Rampage, and Friday Night Smackdown. It's Wrestling Time post show. Wow, what a big night for wrestling tonight! Holy smokes! So AEW Rampage kicked off with Adam Cole versus Jake Atlas. This is a great match. I really enjoyed this match. I liked how one part that both men had the same idea. I think they were trying to super kick each other, but like I said, they had the same idea. Then I like how Adam Cole sent Jake Atlas crashing into the post. Adam Cole ended up being victorious, but I think this is a match where Jake Atlas ended up breaking his ankle or injuring himself because, he kept holding on to his knee. Afterwards, Red Dragon came out because they were going to do a post-match assault on Jake Atlas. But then Orange Cassidy came out with the chain and best friends. So we did not get that beat down. All right, and then after this, we got an Andrade segment, basically him asking how much the Sting won for Darby Allin, which I think is interesting. And as Ted DiBiase would say, everybody has a prize. So I'm intrigued to see where this goes. I really am. Then we had Hook versus Aaron Solo, which was a good match. It was wasn't a squash match, but it was a short match. I would say QT Marshall trying to get involved, grabbing Hook's leg, which causes a distraction, but that didn't work. Hook still ended up being victorious, and then QT Marshall got in his face at the end of the match, and he paid the price for that. That's for sure. Then we got a tag team match. It's Ruby Soho and Riho versus Dr. Britt Baker, D.M.D. and Jamie Hayter. So, Reba actually pulled Ruby Soho out of the ring, and then Jamie and Britt were beating down on Riho. So this match didn't even start for a bit. And then after that, let me see. Like I said, Reba kept getting involved in this match. She grabbed Ruby's boot. Riho tried to launch off the top rope, but then Britt took her down. Hayter and Britt pushed her off the rope, and Riho and Ruby Soho ended up winning this match. So Riho has momentum going into Battle of the Belts, that's for sure, but I don't think Riho is going to win. So now we get a Men of the Year segment, basically saying that there's a lot of sucking going on. Cody sucking up to the TNT executives, or Cody sucking up to Tony Khan. Scorpio Sky says he should be fighting for the TNT title, but he's not. I think Scorpio Sky makes an excellent argument for that. And then in the main event, we got a trios match. It was 2.0 and Daniel Garcia versus Eddie Kingston and Santana and Ortiz. I don't know if this match was always a no DQ, no holds barred match, or if they just made it last minute, because I don't remember it being advertised that way. But Eddie Kingston attacking Daniel Garcia with the trash can, number one. And then Ortiz went throat first into the barricade. Ouch, that had to hurt. Somebody threw powder in someone's face. I didn't catch who it was. Daniel Garcia hit Eddie Kingston with the ring bell. That still was not enough to win them the match. There was a triple suplex on Eddie Kingston through a table by 2.0 and Daniel Garcia. Santana then grabbed the steel chair and hit Daniel Garcia with it. And then he hit, I think, that one guy, one of the members of 2.0. And then Santana and Ortiz attacked Garcia and Parker. Yeah, good main event. I definitely agree, Steve. It was a good main event. Very good main event. And Eddie Kingston, Santana and Ortiz ended up being victorious. Then Daniel Garcia taping Eddie Kingston to the ropes, and Jericho went to go save Eddie Kingston. So I'm pretty intrigued to see where this goes. I know Eddie Kingston said he didn't need Chris Jericho's help. So it's going to see if Eddie Kingston is going to be mad that Chris Jericho helped him. So I honestly enjoyed Rampage tonight. Oh, and we also found out that before we move on, we also found out that Cody Rhodes is not medically cleared to compete. So Dustin Rhodes is going to replace him. It's going to be Dustin Rhodes versus Sammy Guevara for the TNT Championship. And then we also find out that Ricky Starks is defending his FTW title against Matt Sydal at Battle of the Belts. So it's definitely interesting to see. That's going to be an interesting card, that's for sure. I was not expecting that to happen. Well, with that being said, that would conclude the Rampage review. Let's move on to everybody's favorite show of the evening, Friday Night Smackdown. Steve Callahan gave me Rampage an 8 out of 10. I'll rank both shows at the end. There's a lot to talk about on SmackDown. All right, so SmackDown opened with a returning Roman Reigns. He asked the arena to acknowledge him like he always does. He said that he's gone for a week and everything falls apart. He doesn't want to see Lesnar or Paul Heyman in his life ever again. But guess who comes out? Little Fettuccine saying, what happened tonight? With what? On SmackDown or Rampage? Because I can give you a quick recap. So Lesnar comes out and he gets in Roman's face. And he proceeds to copy Paul Heyman. He basically introduces himself. And by the way, Lesnar does a good job at introducing himself. He should introduce himself more often. And he told Roman to acknowledge him. Oh, I'm really going over the SmackDown one. So yeah, like I said, Roman's just opened up the show. I'll give a recap of a Rampage at the end of this. Okay, little fettuccine? And then Lesnar challenges Roman to a title for title, champion versus champion, which I think we all kind of saw coming. And Reigns says he agrees. It's a great idea, but it's not his idea. And he doesn't want to do it. He said he'll do it on his terms. And then Heyman kind of, I don't want to say he begs or pleads to Roman that was his tribal chief, but it's kind of interesting to see that. Seems like Heyman's not over Roman Reigns firing him. And then Roman Reigns cheap shots Brock Lesnar. So SmackDown started off very, very strong. Then we got Rick Boogs versus Sami Zayn. Before this, Sami Zayn had a backstage segment with Johnny Knoxville, basically telling Johnny Knoxville that he needs to prepare for the Royal Rumble, that he's actually not qualified to be in it. This was a decent match between Rick Boogs and Sami Zayn. Of course, Rick Boogs won. And then Little Fettuccine saying, I really hope they don't botch Lashley versus Brock. Same here. But I think the writing's on the wall. I think we all know what's going to happen. Johnny Knoxville comes out and attacks, I believe he attacks Sami Zayn. So, and they declare that Johnny Knoxville is officially ready for the Royal Rumble. Then we get a Charlotte Flair segment. This is where things get interesting. She says that some people's New Year's resolutions are to eat healthy and go to the gym. That her New Year's resolutions make history. So she starts, what's your thoughts on Knoxville in the Royal Rumble? My thoughts on Knoxville in the Royal Rumble, I have to say, I get why they're doing it. They're probably, doing it to pull in some viewers, promoting the new season promoting that Jackass movie. It's not necessary. I really don't like it when they do kind of stuff like that, unless it ties in. I'm surprised they're not promoting the Peacemaker, considering that stars John Cena. So Charlotte names the people that are competing in the Royal Rumble, and surprise, surprise, the Bella Twins are one, and Impact's Knockouts champion Mickie James is one of them. They even acknowledge her as Impact Knockouts champion Mickie James. My mind was blown. It really was. But I will talk about that more after this review, because I have more to say on that. She says that she plans to enter the Royal Rumble and then win and choose who she faces at WrestleMania. Then Naomi comes out and she interrupts her and she slaps Charlotte. Basically slaps Charlotte, and this leads into Naomi versus Charlotte. This match wasn't too bad, but I just didn't like the fact that Sonya Deville came out and was still costing Naomi this match. Like, seriously. First, she said she couldn't win by countout. Then she said that she couldn't win by no DQ. And it basically should end up winning. That's all you need to know. The Bellas really, yeah, that was my thought exactly, because I thought they were retired from wrestling. Then we get a Happy Talks segment with Drew McIntyre. Honestly, this was cringe. This was really just Madcap Moss dressed up as Drew McIntyre. This was a cringe segment. I really didn't like. I didn't think it was funny. But this leads into the Viking Raiders versus Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss, which was an okay match. Madcap Moss and Baron Corbin holding their own against the Viking Raiders, picking up the victory here. So then after this, in the main event, we get a street fight for the Smackdown tag team titles. It's the New Day versus the Usos, and it was the New Day's last chance to win the titles off the Usos. So I'm hoping that this feud is over after this match. This was a really good match. I liked it. Woods grabbing a table at one point during the match, and the Usos putting Kofi Kingston through that table. And the Usos pick up the victory here. So like I said, hopefully that feud is over. Hopefully we don't see it for a while. Maybe, hopefully we don't see it at all after this. I don't know where the Usos go from here, what's next for them. But hey, they were victorious. And that Happy Talk segment was lame. Yeah, I definitely agree. It was my least favorite part of SmackDown. We also found out Roman Reigns' opponent at the Royal Rumble. It's none other than Seth freaking Rollins. I hope no more Usos versus New Day. Yeah, same here. We've seen that feud way too many times. It's going to be Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns at the Royal Rumble for the Universal title, and that closes SmackDown. Wow. So crazy. So my question is the forbidden door open? Like, WWE acknowledged Mickie James as Knockouts champion. They acknowledged Impact, and they acknowledged another title. WWE never really does that. So what does this mean? Does this mean there might be a working relationship? Could we potentially get Impact Wrestling stars at the Royal Rumble? I guess you have to wait and see it. But maybe we're all reading way too much into this. Maybe this is just, WWE realized they didn't have enough women for the Royal Rumble, so they had to go out and They had to go out and get other women, and maybe one of them was Mickie James. Maybe it could just be simple as that. I really hope Impact gets something out of this besides just, they got mentioned on Fox, and they were trending. They were trending on Twitter. SmackDown has 6 out of 10. They were trending on Twitter. Seriously, they got people talking. Tomorrow's their show, Hard to Kill. So I really hope that was that generated a lot of buzz for them, but I really hope they get something more out of that. But Mickie James is not contracted by Impact, though. I know she's not, but she's still their champion. And they just got mentioned. Thoughts on Jade winning the TBS championship? She's still a little green. She still is. I honestly think that tournament was for her. She was going to win that from day one, but she's still a little green. She needs more work. So, it's just like my mind was blown. Seriously, was not expecting that to happen. Was not expecting that. I think WWE broke Twitter with that announcement. They definitely did. But again, like I said, we could all just be reading too much into it. It could not be anything more besides surgery realizing that they may not have enough women and just needed to reach out to somebody. So just to recap, Rampage. Adam Cole defeated Jake Atlas. Andrade wants to buy Darby Allin off of Sting. Hook defeated Aaron Solow. Ruby Soho and Riho defeated Dr. Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter. There was a Man of the Year segment. Eddie Kingston, Santana, and Ortiz defeated 2.0 and Daniel Garcia. Good review. Thank you, Steve. When are the Street Profits turning heel? That's what I don't know. I got a lot to say on this. Really you do, Brett. Okay, here we go. Then join me, Brett. I definitely would love to hear your opinion. But what do you guys think of this whole Impact WWE thing? Seriously, what? What do you guys think about it? I definitely want to hear your opinions because, wow. Wow. Not expecting that at all. Not entirely. Okay. What did you guys think was a better show, SmackDown or Rampage? I have to say, I really liked Rampage tonight. SmackDown was decent, but I did not need to see that Happy Talk segment. That's for sure. I also could have done without Sonya Deville. Well, I dropped the link, Brad. If you want to join, I dropped the link in the chat. Is Impact same time as AEW tomorrow? Yes, it is. It is. They're going head to head for the first hour. Battle of the Belts versus Hard to Kill. And if you guys don't mind, I'm going to take off my layout and I'm going to introduce you guys to the biggest AEW mark that I know. The one, the only. Please help me welcome back to the channel, Brett Rasmussen. Is it a sign that WWE is starting to branch out? Maybe. Maybe. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. Brett, you're muted. You're muted. You're still muted. The rumor is The Rock is interested in. Really? I haven't heard that rumor. Steve Callahan saying, I'll be doing AEW tomorrow. Yeah, well, Brett will probably be watching that because I'm going to be watching Hard to Kill.
What?
Battle of the Belts. I am watching that.
Yeah, I'm going to watch Battle of the Belts, but like, I'm also going to watch Hard to Kill because holy crap, that card is good.
All right. So what do you have to say? Whose mic isn't working?
Is it mine? I don't know. God, Jesus Christ.
Who's muted? Is it me? I don't think it's me.
Probably me. It's most likely me.
No, I can hear you.
Oh, then I have no idea.
That must have been old.
Can people hear me? Ooh.
Well, anywho, what are your thoughts on the potential Forbidden Door opening here?
First,
WWE breaking Twitter.
First, I have no idea what is happening right now at all with that. I have no idea. Right now, I'm like fixing my lights, so I'm like, why are not my headlights happening right now? I have no idea why my stuff is. Anyway, ignore me. Not really. I'm
Little Fettuccine says, sorry, I didn't ask, but what was your favorite match in 2021? Wow, so many, Little Fettuccine. I have to pick women's from AEW, Thunder Rosa versus Dr. Britt Baker. Lights out match, that's for sure. Impact, ooh, that's a tough one. I have to go with Deanna versus Mickie James at a battle. Bound for Glory because I was there live for that. When is RK Bro breaking up? Probably as soon as they lose those tag belts, honestly, if you ask me.
Not anytime soon. If they do, not anytime soon. I do not want that anytime soon. Like, keep if they're waiting for belts or whatever, there we go. No, I'm much better lit. There we go. I look better. Gotta look good on my set. Yes. All right.
What are your thoughts on the Forbidden Door?
All right. So the Forbidden Door. I actually saw a tweet from Matt, the Drama King from Impact. He said, yes. He said, Forbidden Door? Nah, it's more like the multiverse of wrestling. So I'm like, ooh, I like that.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know what to think about this. Apparently they have been keeping that tight-lipped. Sean Ross Sapp didn't even know about that from Fightful. He didn't even know about that until they announced it today. So they have kept that really tight locked. I don't know what that means. I don't believe Mickie is on she's signed to Impact.
Hold on. Discuss, and I gotta take a phone call.
Oh, she has to take a phone call. Very important, yes. So what I believe is happening is that this is kind of like more of a one-off. And mind you, they have no one. WWE has no one. They went ahead and got rid of pretty much everyone in WWE, whether they left like Tony Storm or that they got released. Mickie James and so many other women, which is just ridiculous. So WWE probably like, oh crap, we need bodies and we don't have enough good workers from NXT 2.0. So we need to go ahead and get more people. So we got the Bella Twins, we got Summer Rae, we got Lita, we got Mickie James, and I do like it that Pat McAfee is very much said like the Impact World Champion, the Impact Knockouts World Champion, like he called her, she's the Impact Champion. I really did enjoy that. I was not expecting that, but that was great. I mean, I don't know. I don't believe that this has anything. I honestly think that this is just a one and done. Mickie is very much a good businesswoman. This is not WWE now playing nice with Impact or whatever, because the way WWE works is that they are very much onto their own island.
They truly are. Now the question is, can we trust WWE with this? Can we trust? How do we know?
No, not at all.
Mickie James is going to enter the Royal Rumble. She's going to be, have a whole long entrance, and as soon as she steps in, she's going to get eliminated.
Oh, she's not. I mean, no, she's not going to get eliminated right away. I would be furious. Mind you, I would first be furious because that would just be my first reaction. And then probably after about 5 seconds of me yelling and screaming in anger and rage, I would then just go, well, classic WWE. Of course.
Little Fettuccine says they needs to book Moose for the Royal Rumble.
Needs to book what?
Moose.
Oh, Moose? No. No. Like, Moose, just stay over there. I would love to see Moose. I'll love seeing Moose, but like, I don't trust WWE's booking. It's they do have some good things happening. I love this face version of Brock. I love Farmer Brock. I love it. I do enjoy RK Bro. That's why I'm like, do not break them up. Do not break them up. You have no one. So don't break them up. Like that was the best. It wasn't there a tag match on Raw and they started the first half hour?
Mm-hmm.
I think they did.
Little Fettuccine says, how long do you think Rey Fenix would be out for? I think they said 8 months. No,
actually only a few weeks. So Fightful reported that, and actually it was also Phoenix said so himself, I believe, but I know it was reported that it is a dislocated elbow. So he didn't break in. Like, thank you God that Phoenix didn't break anything, because like he couldn't be out for much longer than what it would be, like longer than even 8 months. No, he dislocated his elbow, so he's going in for more doctor's appointments to check out to see like ligament damage and stuff like that. But Phoenix is going to be out for like several weeks, so I would probably say maybe like 2 to 3 months. I would have him come back at sometime after Double or Nothing. Have him rest up for a long time. Because, like, just because he's ready to go in, like, 2 to 3 months, I'd rather have him rest up more than go and get out there as soon as he possibly can. And mind you, it's Phoenix. Phoenix can go ahead and do it if he wants. It's his choice. But, like, Phoenix is made out of rubber. Like, holy crap. And the reason that happened, I was listening to, oh, God. I can't remember. I was listening to Sean Ross Sapp. I was listening to one of his podcasts. Or maybe it was Denise. I can't remember who said this. But pretty much the reason that happened is that Phoenix, so it was just Luchasaurus taking a choke slam, taking Rey Phoenix, choke slam through a table, and it's just a basic spot. Been done many, many, many times. But what happened is that the placement of the table wasn't there. So it was Alvarez. Now I remember. Brian Alvarez was talking about this. Now I remember. So what happened is Brian Alvarez used this analogy of like, remember, if you're walking on a sidewalk and one of your foot, like you're just walking, and then your foot kind of just takes a step and you think you're on the sidewalk, but you like your foot is on the edge of the sidewalk, and it's just like a 4 to 5 inch drop from the sidewalk to the pavement. It's like because you're on a curb. Your foot steps on the edge of it, and then you kind of like fall. Whether you fall over, you break your ankle, blah blah blah. That's kind of what happened for Phoenix. Is that because what happens is that your brain goes, oh, we're walking on the pavement, walking on the footsteps. You're all of a sudden your foot takes the wrong step, even though you're walking, and then you go, oh God, and you try to catch yourself. That's what happened because even though you're trained to be like, all right, take bumps. That's why when you take bumps flat back, you do not catch yourself. You just go, huh, or like you know, you don't try to catch yourself. That's one of the cardinal sins of bumping. Yeah. What happened is that because he didn't see he wasn't, the placement of the table was a bit off. If you watch it, he didn't go fully into the table, was like on the edge. So by doing that, he tried to extend his arm to feel for the table to make sure, like, okay, here we go. And that's why it went all the way, like, and it was whoo. But God, thank you, God, that he's not.
Yeah. So back to the topic of the Forbidden Door. It, like I said, Impact had smartest Impact's Hard to Kill. They definitely got the buzz going into Hard to Kill. They were trending on Twitter. WWE gave them a mention on Fox TV. And Smackdown's watched by 2 million viewers, I think?
About, yeah.
2 million people heard Impact Wrestling being mentioned on Fox.
I mean,
that's kind of big.
Oh, well, I mean, it's just like, what is happening? Because WWE doesn't extend themselves to other companies. And if they do, it's for very rare, it's for very specific circumstances. Like back in the 90s when they went to Japan, I believe that was the plane ride from hell story when they went to Japan and they worked with New Japan for that. Or maybe it wasn't it wasn't the plane ride.
Well, I know last year there was a rumor that WWE wanted to work exclusively with New Japan and be their American partner.
Because they didn't want to lose Bryan. Because Bryan was
with the recent push that Jade has been getting in NXT. Do you see her getting booked for the Rumble? I don't watch NXT, but I'd say maybe why not?
I do. I don't watch religiously NXT, but I do keep tabs on it because I listen to Cultaholic and Wrestle Talk and Fightful and the Wrestling Observer and that kind of stuff. Mind you, I don't want to go ahead and watch Tuesday Night Live, which is NXT. It's just SNL skits left, right, and center, and really nothing matters.
So going back to the Forbidden Door topic.
No, this is just there is no other meaning to this outside of we don't have women, we need women. Mickie James, hey, can you please do work this show? And because go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
This is not them going, hey, Hard to Kill is tomorrow. Go buy the No, they could get to sorry, almost swore.
Gucci the dog says NXT 3.0 sucks.
Don't you mean how many? Because so the different versions of NXT. So you have the first one, which was the game show. That was after the first 6 months, after the whole Miz and Bryan and stuff. It was terrible. Then you had
Little Fitty 369 said Plane Ride from Hell was a flight that was heading back from a European tour.
Yep, I was wrong about that. I was like, that's why I corrected myself as I was talking. But thank you for correcting me there. But you had the game show, which was outside of Bryan Miz. It was, and then it became worse and worse and worse. That was like when Michael Cole was actively sabotaging the show and the worst thing on SmackDown or Raw because he was feuding with Jerry the King Lawler, or he was just marking out for the Miz, and it was terrible.
When he had the coal mine?
Yeah, or the GM where you fucking
yeah, we don't talk about those days.
Oh, it was terrible. It was terrible. Anyway, so you had that. Then you have then you have Black and Gold, like Triple H's Black and Gold. OG, our favorites, best version of NXT. Then you had like the COVID, so then you had the Capitol Wrestling Center, and now you have 2.0. Because really, when they made the Capitol Wrestling Center, they kind of like changed things up a bit. So,
Yeah.
But, man, I cannot.
But were you saying this was WWE saying what?
I'm sorry.
Were you saying WWE was basically just running out of women?
They got rid of everyone. They got rid of everyone. Just they left because they were getting booked poorly and they didn't care about them. Hence Toni Storm, which props to her, because like you have Toni Storm, who's amazing. You have her debut, wrestle a few matches, have her sitting catering, and then she comes out and fights Charlotte. But this happens before Survivor Series, so we can't start that.
Why was Seth on SmackDown tonight? He's Roman Reigns' next challenger.
Yeah, because there were reports saying that he was the planned winner of the original Fatal 4-Way.
I thought Big E was scheduled to retain his title.
No one. That's what a lot of people thought, but none of the talent. No one knew. Truly until after the event happened, and then there have been reports saying that Seth Rollins was planned to be the one, which kind of makes sense because Big E has been like the third most important person in the story. Having Seth, it's not Lashley's time yet, in their opinion, and then Lashley is doing this whole storyline with Kevin Owens. So Seth
wild card baby, Seth freaking Rollins, Lynch. Charlotte has go away heat. Yeah.
I am tired. Charlotte is amazing. I love Charlotte. And this is from an AEW mark. And I love Charlotte. Charlotte's amazing. Charlotte's honestly, in my opinion, she is the Bret Hart of the women's division. She makes wrestlers better. Because of how she wrestles. The reason why a lot of people, including myself, get frustrated at Charlotte is because of how she's getting booked like John Cena. She's getting booked like Hulk Hogan. It's the machine behind her that makes us upset and why some people have go away heat with her.
I thought Seth and Owens were going to team up. I thought so too, but maybe they are. Maybe after this, who knows? I don't know.
Plans scheduled to change. Like this
is WWE. Card subject to change.
Card subject to change. Like this is WWE. Mind you, I love Goofy Seth and Goofy Owens.
Same.
Like I love that's one of the better things on Raw. But Raw is a terrible show. SmackDown.
You're telling me?
I'm aware.
So anywho, I really hope Impact gets something out of this besides them getting trending on Twitter and getting buzz around Hard to Kill.
They're not. I promise you.
When is Bayley coming back? I have no idea.
I hope at the Rumble. And she wins the whole dang thing. I hope at the Rumble.
So maybe we're in for a giant swerve. Who knows? Maybe WWE is working us off.
It just there is literally nothing more to this. I promise you. Maybe some other wrestling fans who watch WWE may Google, what is this Impact thing that Pat McAfee said? And they may find out. And cool. Awesome, but it's not because of WWE. This is not because of WWE promoting their product or anything like that. AEW did a better job of promoting Impact just by having the Good Brothers on there. And mind you, they didn't go ahead and be like, hey, the Good Brothers are going to be, competing against FinJuice at whatever pay-per-view at Final Resolution.
Well, actually, I have to disagree because Rich Swann never showed up to Dynamite to attack Kenny Omega during their feud.
And he should have.
I agree. He should have shown up. I was annoyed by that fact that during the whole build to their feud, Rich Swann did not show up to attack Kenny Omega. That one time where Eddie Kingston and John Moxley were getting ready to attack Omega and the Bucks, and they said they bought a friend. That would have been the perfect opportunity for Rich Swann to show up and attack Omega, but that never happened.
And because the thing is that they got Omega, I think, because again, it's part of the deal, And that's one of the things that you have, like, there's also money involved, and Impact has to look good, but also you have AEW's top champion. Like, I give props to both Tony Khan and Scott D'Amore of handling that. Could they have done more? Most definitely. Rich Swann should have definitely shown up at Dynamite to just. He didn't have to get involved in a match. I just wanted Rich Swann to come out of the tunnel and look at Omega and hold up the Impact belt and go, "This is mine." And then Omega goes, "Aha," and then, or whatever. Just so that, because we all know that he's on Impact and also in AEW doing this stuff. I would have liked to see, like, for the Moose match, I think it was Moose and Omega. That was at Daly's place.
Yeah.
So, like, I would have loved to have seen more on Dynamite on a bigger stage for them to. You don't have to promote that pay-per-view. I get it, because AEW is not going to see any money coming from Rebellion.
Poochie the dog says no cross promotion guarantee. You know Mickey drops the title to Peraza, so Mickey enters the Rumble with no Impact ties or references. Probably a lot of. I honestly think that's what's going to happen tomorrow. Here's the thing: Deonna Purrazzo is going to defend her Reina de Reyes title against Roxy in a winner take all match, and to me, it's kind of pointless for them to do a winner take all match without including the Knockouts title. So I really, and now that Mickie James is going to enter the Royal Rumble, I don't think she's going to enter with the title. I really don't think she is.
She's not.
Unless WWE and Impact have some kind of deal where they're like, okay, we'll let you enter the Rumble with the title, but you ain't gonna work. You're not gonna, or maybe we'll just name you as the Impact champion, Impact Knockouts champion, but you're not going to enter the Rumble with the title.
No, WWE wouldn't let her go into the Rumble with her holding the Knockouts belt. And even Deonna Purrazzo tweeted out that like something in the vein of, I'm paraphrasing, but something in the vein of, over my dead body, that she will be able to take that belt to the Rumble.
So I feel like they're just going to acknowledge her as a former Impact Knockouts champion.
They're not, because here's the thing. I honestly, because Pat McAfee loves wrestling. Pat McAfee very much loves wrestling. You can listen to his own show, his own podcast show, where he talks about, he loves sports and he loves wrestling. He talks about AEW. He talks about Impact. Yes, he works for WWE, the company, but he does call WWE out on some of their crap. Some, not all, because of course he still has to get paid. And there's some things that you can't really talk about.
You don't bite the hand that feeds you.
Exactly. But he is a wrestling fan. That is the one thing that I can talk about SmackDown, where, like, on Raw, the commentary is unbearable. I hate it. But on SmackDown, like, Michael Cole is Michael Cole. And when Michael Cole doesn't have Vinnie Mac yelling into his ear.
Oh my God. Poochie the dog saying they will promote Mickie as Mickie James before they call her Knockouts champion. Oh my God. I remember that with Lay Cole. That was really messed up, though.
That was terrible.
Little Fettuccine 69 saying, so is Brock holding that title to Mania? And if he does, will it be a unified title versus title match? And who wins? Okay, so Brett and I had a whole conversation about this a couple days ago, didn't we?
Yes, I think so.
Honestly, that kind of ruined. We already know Lashley and Reigns are winning their matches at Royal Rumble. Thank you, WWE, for spoiling that.
How do you know that Lashley's winning his match?
I mean, Lesnar and Reigns. Sorry.
I'm like, what?
Lesnar and Reigns are winning their titles. The matches I wanted, I don't know how you feel, but the matches I wanted were Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania and Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre. Those are the matches we should have gotten. But it's probably going to be Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. Sorry,
Now you're
versus
fine.
Roman Reigns, and title for title, and Reigns is going to win.
I think that I honestly feel that the original plan was Drew was going to fight. Like everything got thrown off, but I think Drew was going to fight Roman, at the Rumble or whatever. He was going to be the next challenger in line. And then I think Lashley would have probably been like for Seth or whatever. But everything got kind of thrown up in the air because like Roman.
Well, yeah, because
You
of
know.
the. Hold on, give me a second. Keep going.
Because Roman got he wasn't there because of the pandemic, and then the neck injury with Drew, and he's been dealing with that injury since 2016. It's just now it's getting worse and worse and worse, and now it's pretty much he needs it to get looked at. So what should happen if I'm fantasy booking here? Mind you, it's
Lashley at Rumble, and then Brock enters 30 in the Rumble match and wins. Maybe that could be.
That's okay. So if I'm fantasy booking here, first, so you go do the storyline, you do the build of Lashley versus Brock going into the Rumble. You do the whole build with that, but then you have you have Brock going to SmackDown to do the whole who is Paul Heyman with? Is he truly with Brock, or is he being a double agent and still with Roman? We don't know. Which I'm fine with. I actually very much am enjoying this whole I like it that Paul is like he goes where the belt goes. That's like how Sean Rossap was talking about this, but I like the analogy where Paul Heyman is slimy. He doesn't care, like it doesn't matter who holds the belt, whether it's Roman or Brock. He goes where the belt goes. So because Roman doesn't have Brock has the WWE belt, he's now with Brock. I think that he's like slimy. I honestly don't think that it's more about he goes where the belt goes, not who holds the belt. But if I'm fantasy booking at the Rumble, Lashley rips the belt off of Brock. And then you can have Brock enter in the Rumble at whatever number and have him win, which is fine. I feel like that's a wasted Rumble slot. Because I would rather because we already know that they're leading to Roman and Brock anyway on SmackDown. So instead, you have the Rumble winner, whoever it would be, win the Rumble, they fight Lashley, and then you continue to build. Like Brock loses because of Paul Heyman or because of the Usos or bloodline shenanigans, something. Brock loses. He then goes, I'm going to kill you, Roman. But Roman goes like, well, this is my show, and I get to dictate how things work, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Maybe like Brock has to fight the Usos at Fastlane or something. Who knows? Whatever.
Is the WWE brand split really necessary in 2022? Probably not at this point.
Do not put the brands back together. If I know people say this, I've heard why do you have the brand split? It does not matter. None of these belts matter. There's no stakes. You are right. But do keep the brand split. If you guys didn't watch WWE back in 2013, 2014, 2010, when the brand split ended and it was just everything's on the same stuff, SmackDown became previously on Raw. It was terrible. I hated. I would rather be bored to tears by SmackDown right now than watch a SmackDown.
Hold on. Little Fettuccine 69 saying who eventually is taking the title off of Roman. Honestly, and I'm going to be totally honest here, there's only two people I would see, and they would either be Brock Lesnar or Drew McIntyre, because they haven't built anybody up who I believe could take the title off of him.
Well, I mean, mind you, that's WWE's fault. But the third person I could honestly see is Braun Breaker from NXT. Braun Breaker is the only other guy that I could see that he just shows up in the Rumble. He's not going to win, I would be very surprised if he wins the entire Rumble.
He ain't winning this year.
No. I'm talking about like literally at the end of this month. Maybe next year, but this coming Rumble, no. But I definitely do see Braun Breaker going into the Rumble this year. But I do see Braun Breaker being the guy, one of the guys, to rip the belt off of Roman. You cannot have the guy who beats Roman for the Universal belt cannot be someone that's already established. You need to use this to propel a megastar. You need to choose someone who's like, this is our next guy.
He says to stop with Rick Steiner. What do you mean?
If
they end a brand split, they release 100 superstars tomorrow.
Rick Steiner is Braun Breaker's dad. Braun Breaker is I'm sorry, it's Rick Steiner. It's Rex Steiner. That's his son. Rick Steiner's son is Braun Breaker. That's the whole thing. And he's great. Like, the thing is, like, I don't get why they don't just call him blank Steiner. Like,
because of money. Because of money. The Steiners own their name, and WWE wanted something they could copyright.
That's their legal last name.
Actually, John Cena says that Vince McMahon owns his name.
Okay, well, I mean, that's whatever. That's fine, I guess. Whatever. But, like, Braun Breaker talks like a Steiner. He wrestles like a Steiner. His finisher is the Frankensteiner. Like, he's a Steiner. He does the barking. They call him all of the things. The commentary calls him all of the things.
Has he done a math promo? Until he does a math promo, then he officially recognize him as a Steiner.
They're probably going to get there. Somehow, some way, they'll probably get there.
Does he have a 33 and 1/3 chance of winning?
Well, at War Games he did. Different maths though, but he's the best thing out of all the new guys in NXT 2.0. He's the best thing, but going back to the Forbidden Door, there's nothing more to this than we don't have women. We need Mickie James. Here, Mickie James. Here's a boatload of money. Please come back. And Mickie James is like, all right, but blah 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 blah. There has to be something. I don't know. I don't know the details of whatever is happening there. Is it a surprise? Yes, but there's nothing more to it than just we don't have enough women. That's it.
If there's nothing more to it, at least Impact got some buzz going into Hard to Kill. They were trending on Twitter.
They
broke Twitter for mentioning Impact.
Okay, and that's fine. Honestly, props to Pat McAfee, because no one would have said that if Pat McAfee didn't say that. So props to Pat McAfee, really. Because they didn't say Impact in the video package. Michael Cole wasn't saying it. That was all Pat McAfee, and that's because he is a wrestling fan. At least that's what I believe. I don't know if
when is Big E turning heel? I don't know. Is also coming back at Rumble? Maybe.
I don't know. Do I want Big E as heel? I don't. I like Big E. I don't need it. I don't need more heels. I need more baby faces. I need smart baby faces too.
I think we pretty much hit the nail in the coffin. There might not be anything more to this besides WWE having a shortage on women. Or who knows? It could be the biggest swerve in wrestling history, and WWE and Impact may have a working relationship.
All right, so what else happened on SmackDown? Because I know that the opening was the promo between Brock and Roman, and
that's pretty much it. Honestly, those would be the three biggest takeaways: is Lesnar challenging Reigns, Pat McAfee mentioning Impact, and Roman Reigns finding out that he will be facing Seth Rollins at the Royal Rumble.
What was the first match of the show?
Oh, the first match of the show: Rick Boogz versus Sami Zayn.
Oh God! I didn't see this, but I heard about this. I saw the clip of it where Johnny Knoxville came in, threw Sami Zayn out, and then commentary went, "He's now in the Royal Rumble. He is now a participant." I'm like, that's hilarious. I love it. mind you, a throwaway match. I love Sami Zayn. I don't care about Rick Boogz. Great. Was the next thing the Naomi Charlotte match or whatever thing?
Well, hold on, let me get my notes. I think it was Charlotte and Naomi.
I feel like it would be.
Yeah, it was just a Charlotte Flair segment, and then Naomi.
Because Charlotte. I'm guessing Charlotte was talking about how is she entering the Rumble?
Yeah, to choose her opponent or something like that.
What? Okay, whatever. I mean, mind you, they don't have enough women to do a Rumble, so yeah. Why don't you just do that? Isn't she champion? Yeah, she's champion. Yeah, that's dumb. Anyway, so she's entering the Rumble, and then they had a match with Naomi because I'm guessing Naomi came out and was like, "Well, come and fight me," blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you had that. What was next?
Happy talk with Drew McIntyre. And they got the Viking Raiders versus Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss, and then the street fight for the SmackDown tag titles.
I caught the street fight. That street fight was rad.
Yeah, it was.
You also did a freaking 3D to the New Day. That was awesome. Oh, and I love the spot where freaking Kofi and Woods went under the ring, got a gladiator helmet for Woods, and then Kofi got a like chest plate. And then like Kofi used it as a weapon. One of the Usos super kicked Woods, but because it hit the helmet.
Is Charlotte defending the title in the room? No, she's not. She's just entering to choose her Rumble. To pick her opponent, I guess, if she wins.
It's so dumb. It's so dumb. I hate it. God.
Well, that's what happens when you release half your female roster.
They're
and where the hell is Nia Lee? She debuted once, had one match, and she just
and Tegan Nox and Shotzi Blackheart fought for the tag belts 3 times in championship contender matches or whatever the hell, and then they got nothing. They never got to fight for the freaking belts. So like.
Yeah. All right. So I guess we should go ready to wrap up because we're starting to, mumble. So
you don't want to talk about Rampage? You don't
I can't wish Charlotte I already talked about Rampage. That was at the beginning. Not why you came in late.
Oh, you talked about it in the beginning?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. I thought you started with SmackDown. Okay, fine.
No.
So, I
talked about it in the beginning. Okay,
well, you started with the good stuff, so props to you. Talk about the good stuff, the good wrestling, the better wrestling. Okay, so just a few things on that. So we opened with Adam Cole and Jake Atlas. Great match. I saw, but like very much, it was very apparent that when I think it was from the top rope that Jake Atlas did a move, but like it was apparent Jake Atlas screwed up his knee.
Rhea Lee and catering with Von Wagner.
I could give 2 craps about Von Wagner. Von Wagner is God. There are so many more fun, entertaining people than Von Wagner is just. I'd rather watch glue dry than that. Than Von Wagner. But a good match, and Jake Atlas looked good, and I really hope that Jake Atlas heals up quickly and stuff because he is a very good talent in AEW. I love Jake Atlas in NXT. He's great. Good match, all that kind of stuff. And then you saw Orange Cassidy and the Best Friends coming for the save. Datila, are you a Hook fan? Because I am. Do you like Hook? Tell me yes. There is only one correct answer. You know what the correct answer is.
Yeah.
There you go. Hook is awesome. Great freaking work. I love Hook. I need to buy me that Send Hook shirt. I need to buy it. Hook is amazing. I love it. Hook greater than WWE. Hook greater than professional. No, I'm kidding. Hook is amazing though. Like legit, like the meme, he has surpassed the meme and has become legitimately cool and legitimately good at professional wrestling. Like we memed him into existence, but he's actually legitimately good. Like this isn't like a joke. He's like, holy crap. He looks amazing in the ring. He fights, like just the way he wrestles is so different and interesting. I love it. He's just doing a Taz mission, but it's called the Red Rum. And I love how they explained why Taz last week on Rampage explained why it's called the Red Rum is because all the blood is going to come to your head and it's going to make you dizzy. So when it's like you're drinking rum, you're going to get dizzy because you're getting drunk. Red Rum. I love it. So great match. I love it. Then you had the tag match between Ruby Soho and Riho versus Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter. That was great. And it was really, I love the finish because of, you got to have the faces win because Riho's not winning tomorrow at Battle of the Belts. It's going to be a fantastic match. I cannot wait to watch that. But we got to have her get some momentum in. How do you do that? Well, we're telling the story that Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker are on the outs right now because, Jamie Hayter got screwed accidentally by Britt in her TBS match. Now this time it was accidentally by Britt. That was great. So Jamie can take the pin because we're telling the story between Britt and Jamie breaking up. The news, you and I talked earlier today, just between ourselves, about there's going to be a change in one of the matches, and we found out that Cody, because of medical conditions, he will not be there. So it's going to be for the interim TNT Championship, and it's going to be Dustin versus Sami. That's going to be good, and I honestly want Dustin to win. I want Dustin to win, so that way we can have Cody versus Dustin for the absolute TNT champion, and Cody goes over because he's the heel. This is when we can have him turn heel. This is when he does the pedigree to his own brother. Ooh, I cannot wait for that. Oh, I would love to watch that. But I love it that they're also that Man of the Year are in this contention. They're talking about that.
When Jeb spelled backwards is murder.
That is true. So I like that too. I didn't realize that, but that's cool too. Hook does pretty much murder his opponent in the ring. So yeah. But I really do like what they're doing with Men of the Year. And what they're saying is kind of warranted. I love Dan Lambert. I love him. I know some people don't. I absolutely adore his promos. I think he's so entertaining and so funny. He's so good at being just the, chicken heel that is just going to say crap to piss you off. Like he's doing the job. If you're mad at him, he's doing the job. And then the street fight. Oh boy, I love that street fight. That street fight was so good. I loved the move where I think it was like, what was it? Santana launched Ortiz into one of the guys of 2.0 from one of the corner posts. Oh my God, I love that. That was so good. And of course, you gotta have Santana Ortiz. I think it was Santana did the pin on I think it was Matt or Jeff, one of them from 2.0. But you have Eddie and Santana Ortiz win. That was awesome. I cannot wait. I want Santana Ortiz to win the belt sometime in the future off of Jurassic Express.
Definitely. So now that we've covered everything, we pretty much covered everything. So did you
talk about Samoa Joe?
No, I didn't.
That's a big deal, right?
Yeah, because he got released twice in the span of a year.
I mean, mind you, he got released with what happened on Wednesday, but still, absolute bull.
Yeah, definitely. But I think we should get ready to wrap things up. So you got anything you want to tell the people watching?
Yeah. So if you want to go ahead and follow me, if you like video games and you like all the like video games and nerd culture, I talk a lot about definitely specifically video games. I'm working on many reviews. This year is going to be definitely crazy, especially in February. We got Horizon Forbidden West coming out for PlayStation. We got Elden Ring coming out later that month. That's going to be amazing. So I'll be doing reviews of those games along with some other ones that are coming out in the future. Unboxings. I do unboxings of like collector's editions of video games. We do think pieces. We have a weekly PlayStation podcast called Dual Shocked that goes up every week. Where me and some of my friends, we go ahead and talk about what's happening in the news relating to PlayStation. We talk about, PlayStation related topics and video games and stuff that's happening in there. Like for instance, PlayStation announced announced the next PlayStation VR 2, and the game to kind of announce to go with it is Horizon Call of the Mountain, which looks really cool. Pretty much big, huge robotic dinosaurs walking across you. It looks awesome. So there's that. We talk about other, stuff that's happening in video game. There's a lot of crap that happens in the video game industry too. So it's not just in wrestling. But we have that, bunch of stuff. I have reaction videos, all that kind of stuff. So if you like all that nerd culture and video games and movies and TV shows, that kind of stuff, go to youtube.com/Brotherhood of Geeks. youtube.com/Brotherhood of Geeks. You can follow, subscribe, like, comment, all the good YouTube stuff. You can also follow me and my team on Twitter at DualShock.
Poochie the dog said this Brett guy is good. Have him on the show more.
Yeah, I like that. If I have the time, I will. I literally had nothing going on today, and I'm like, this Rampage was good, and oh my god, Datila, I was just out and about. Like I missed a good portion of Smackdown. I was just out and about doing errands. Datila texted me. She was like, hey, and she just texted me the picture of WWE's tweet of, hey, Mickie James, Impact Champion in the Rumble. And I'm like, what? How? I don't get this.
What Twilight Zone is this?
None of this makes any sense. What do you mean? And I was on my phone just like going, okay, wait, hold on. Go to the Twitter. I went to Fightful. I was like, what is happening? I went to Mickey's own Twitter. I'm like, this has to be bullcrap. This can't be real. I don't believe this at all. So I went ahead and looked it up and I saw it. I'm like, huh, okay. I don't know. What the hell is happening? But there is that. Like, thank you. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. I will definitely try to be here when I can. But again, I am a busy man. I do a lot of stuff for my team and everything like that. And maybe I should have Datila come on when the next WWE game or AEW game comes out. Because
I would love that, Brett. As for myself, you guys know I like wrestling. I'm Power Rangers. I'm gearing up to record Legacy of Power. Hopefully it comes back next. I'm aiming for it to return next week, but I'll definitely keep you guys on updated. If you follow me on Twitter at @Datila_. I live tweet during Raw, SmackDown, Rampage, Dynamite, and Impact Wrestling as well.
Especially Impact, because she loves Impact.
Yeah, I love Impact, which is why I'll be watching a Hard to Kill tomorrow and over Battle of the Belts.
Mind you, that Hard to Kill card looks so good. What do you mean? Jonathan Gresham is defending his Ring of Honor belt? Oh, the very first Ultimate X women's match? Ooh, it's so good. I love it. I'm so excited. Yes. What's the next episode?
Enjoying reviewing the new WWE game will be missing 90% of its roster. That's true.
I don't know.
Well, that's pretty much it. Oh, and then I do have Morphin Mondays where I review Power Ranger toys, and I'm trying to bring back Slam Saturdays where I'll review wrestling toys or just wrestling items in general.
What's your next episode of Legacy of Power about?
Oh, well, my next episode of Legacy of Power was actually supposed to be the Christmas episodes, but I didn't get around to doing that.
Oh, you're gonna do oh man. I mean, you could still if you wanted to. But if you're not, what is it gonna be? Come on, tell me.
Well, for those of you who don't know, or if you guys paid attention at Survivor Series, we got a sign that said the blonde Pink Ranger stunk too. So my next Legacy of Power will be all about Catherine Cat Hillard, who replaced Kimberly Ann Hart, the Mighty Morphin Pink Ranger, and then went on to become Pink Zeo Ranger or Zeo Ranger 1 Pink, and the first Pink Turbo Ranger. And it'll be basically me talking about why she gets unnecessary hate from the fandom.
You should also talk about her in the comics, because there is more story to her later in the comics, especially in Legacy of the Dragon.
I don't read the comics, so
you should.
Just like I don't watch Stark, Elevation, and BTI. I don't read the Power Rangers comics. Before the Impact.
Yes. Okay, I thought you messed up Being the Elite. I was like, BT. You mean BTE?
I also don't watch Being the Elite though.
I mean, you should. It's so good, but
that being said, if you follow me on Twitter, make sure you keep an eye out for that, because I will definitely be dropping when they come out on Twitter. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment. Make sure you hit that bell so you get notified whenever I go live or release a new video. And I will see each and every one of you tomorrow after Hard to Kill.
Gonna
Have
be
a
so
great
good.
night. Bye.